And what's doing, guys? Back with the fresh final review. Today we're going to be looking at, obviously you can see this big son bitch right in front of you, X Plus Gigantic Series Burning Godzilla 2019. Boom. What a big ass figure. Okay, so right out the gate, got this guy at the beginning of January 2021. Shortly after I picked up the 37-meter Megalon, which was dope. Got it right from the Rick site. This was part of the second order reservation, so if you missed out on the first one, fortunately, X Plus had a second pre-order window for this big son bitch. And he is big. Like, honestly, he's still on the floor. I don't have a shelf space for him. I would need to, make room above here. And some of my Gigantics, I actually have two of them that don't have the tails on just for, making it work on the top shelf. Because these guys are freaking huge. Look how big this thing is. This thing is humongous. I will tell you, I skipped out on the original Gigantic because it just didn't wow me. The past year or two, I've been pretty picky about X Plus stuff. If it don't wow me, then I don't get it. And I'm glad I did not get the original because when I saw this, I was like, dope. This thing looks awesome. It stands out in its own right. Definitely stands out among the Gigantics, of all of them. I'm not saying it's the best one. Definitely not. But this thing is just a beast of a figure. I'm really glad I got it. So, overall, we already know. I'm coming to you guys late with this review anyway, so it's going to be kind of quick and straight to the point. Burning Godzilla is what he was dubbed. I kind of like to think of him more of a nuclear pulsing Godzilla because he's supercharged, whatever. So, I mean, is he really burning? Yeah, I guess his internal reactor was supercharged more than anything, if we're going to be... That's how I looked at it. And then he uses nuclear pulse that Mothra helped, to help him defeat Ghidorah in Godzilla King of the Monsters. So, it's pretty dope. I wish they did not show this in the trailer before the movie came out, because this would have been a dope-ass reveal to see Godzilla in this form in the movie without knowing it was going to happen. So, that would have been really, really cool. Anyways, the figure, it's awesome. The paint job, and I'm going to talk about the dorsal plates in a minute, but overall, the paint job, I really dig it. I like this burnt, charred, orange glowing look that it has throughout the figure. It's just commanding. Obviously, it's on the floor for me right now, but it still commands presence. You walk in, it's like, what is this big orange Cheeto looking son bitch on the floor? I'm the only one that thinks that because I'm the only one walking in here. But anyway, it's a great looking figure. I do have some minor gripes. I do wish his mouth was roaring open like the original Gigantic, but this one, he's got a closed mouth, it definitely helps him stand apart. Fists are clenched like he's hulking up, like he's ready to throw down. He's pissed. He's like, he's charging up. So that looks kind of cool, except that, in his fists are clenched, there's that vinyl in there. That would have been kind of pretty hard to have taken out, more or less, based off of the size and how much vinyl is used there in those fists to make that happen. Minor gripe. It doesn't really bother me. Again, once I eventually get them on the top shelf, I'm not going to see those, those fists closed there with that vinyl there. So that kind of sticks out. What else? The dorsal plates. Now, yeah, in certain pictures, they look super yellow. In some pictures, depending on the lighting, they look a little bit more oranger. But, specifically the tips of the dorsal plates, they really are like just a yellowish. I wish they were kind of more orange throughout, like they are in the centers. That's a minor gripe. I've seen collectors, they kind of just touch theirs up. Eventually, maybe if I get ballsy enough, I'll do it myself. But overall, it doesn't really bother me. Speaking of the dorsal plates, I've said this in numerous videos whenever I've talked about the 2019 design. I love the fact that they used the 1954 Godzilla dorsal plate design here, specifically for these. I mean, for most of the part, at least these big three main ones here are 54 callbacks, which is great. I also love what they did with the redesign on the tail. It's not as long and not as pointed off in the end, so it feels more of a traditional Godzilla tail, like stubs at the end, so that looks good. This tail itself, my God, like it's so much detail, so many spikes and everything. It looks really just vicious. As far as the design goes, it looks great. But the figure, this tail, oh my God, the hardest tail I've ever had to put on. I should have taken pictures when I got him out of the box, so you can see this massive flange that you have to shove up his ass. I don't know. It must have taken me 20 minutes with a hairdryer to get it squishy enough to get it shoved in and into place. The hardest, like, it's just baffling how big the flange is. But this is a heavy piece of freaking tail, heavy piece of vinyl. And if I remember correctly, it comes in 2 pieces. So you got a segment here and then a segment here, okay? And then, of course, you need the tail stand. Without the tail stand, as we know, he drops. You know, so we got to use that tail stand. And that's a big tail stand itself. That's a hefty tail stand. The gap, same thing as on the original Gigantic series 2019. I have a gap here, but whatever. What am I going to do? You know, once I get on the shelf, his ass is going to be towards the wall. I'm not going to see the gap. I don't care. Should it be there? Yes and no. I mean, again, considering how bulky these figures are, and remember, they're made out of vinyl, as we know, but considering how bulky it is, it's a lot of weight and gravity, you know, pulling down. You know, I mean, again, you saw when I took the tail stand out, all the weight shifted that way. So it is what it is. I'm not overly, you know, it doesn't bother me. Not a big deal. So really, what else do I gotta say? Everybody knows what the box looks like. Cardboard box, brown, big, bulky, styrofoam, all that shit. Massive box. So I'm very happy with the figure. I'm supposed to do a video with Greg Betters and Leslie Chambers at some point here in the not too distant future. 2020 and the pandemic had a different plan for that, but I wanted to knock out my review. We'll probably do some kind of like live stream or Fresh Vinyl Live or something in person, hopefully, and we'll have, you know, we'll do comparison with the figures and just shoot the shit on the Gigantics anyways. But overall, beautiful figure. I'm happy I got it. Glad I passed on the original. It's just a massive figure. I had this on my kitchen island for a couple weeks, and I was like, all right, he's too big. He's got to go. Because, I mean, literally, you need a kitchen island for a display, you know, like a, what do you call it, like a pedestal? Yeah, pedestal? Well, you know, a display thingy. I don't know what I'm talking about. So, comparing to the other Gigantics, I have a picture of him here next to the Gigantic 89, which is a great figure. Honestly, I was taking photos of the 89 for comparison purposes, and then I was like, damn, that 89 looks badass. But they both compare very nice. The 89 still kind of stands a little bit taller, but this sumbitch is bulkier, bigger, longer. He takes up more shelf presence and shelf space. And then here is a photo of the Rick 84, Yuji Sakai 84. As you can see, this Gigantic dwarfs that little sumbitch. I mean, he looks so little compared to this. But anyways. So yeah, figure's awesome. Yeah, and one other thing I noticed is, yeah, the design, he's got these big childbearing hips, but whatever. Seeing in Godzilla vs. Kong, his big-ass hips do not slow him down at all, so don't hate. Especially considering, you know, we've had many ugly and fat-looking Godzillas in the past. You know, again, I've always said this, he's a mutation. He can't control what happens on how the radiation is mutating him throughout. He's ugly beautiful. This guy, he's, you know, ugly beautiful. Bam. Anyway, so definitely 10 out of 10 for me. Well, is it really? I guess dorsal plates, the fists, the gap, 8.5, 8 out of 10. But I'm not really complaining. So I'm happy with it. Glad I got it. It was a lot of money. It was about, what, I don't know, $600 plus the DHL shipping from the Rick site. That was crazy. But it wasn't that bad. Definitely glad I got them. Now I just got to find a spot to put them on my shelf. Boom. All right. So 8 out of 10. I'll give him 8 out of 10. Certified fresh still. Regardless, he's just massive. He's just so much detail. So much detail. The skin is and everything is just disgusting looking. Anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling there. Thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you on my next Fresh Vinyl review. And remember, people, buy vinyl, fresh vinyl. Bam.